this chapter, I want to speak about communication because this is very, very important and this is a huge part of your service. You, as an artist, you're supposed to be polite and friendly always. If client want to speak with you and discuss something, no problem. You can speak and discuss. You can say about your work. You can say about the job, like all the details, something. Sometimes when you go, like if you start to be closer, for example, if it's the second or the third appointment, you can say about yourself. You can share the things. Some people who are really interested in that. Some people, I'm telling you, they just come to hear these things also. So you need to be friendly and this, but don't go too deep, because sometimes people, they like to speak, they like to be in communications, but if you go inside the soul, like you start to give advices from your own opinion or something like that. For example, she's saying you about her breakup and she's gonna say, like, if you're gonna say that you want to protect her boyfriend, say that he is better or something like that, it can be a conflict. So you're able to speak about the topics which is not spicy or something like that. You don't discuss the politics, you don't discuss the religion, or if the topic is go there, you can say that this is my opinion. You don't need to be straight because sometimes somebody can have some different religion or different opinion from you, and these things is very, very important, and this thing can even make you lose your clients. So please be careful with these topics. Okay, this is about the good clients, because with the good clients, with the calm people, you will not have a problems. You will smile, you will speak together and things like that, and that's it. I want to say about the clients which can bring you problems. Actually, during my 5-year experience, I had only 2 or 3 of these cases, but I want to say you how to act, because this is important, because how you react is going to affect on your future also, especially if you are staying not in a big city, and if your client going to leave your place not satisfied, it means that she will speak out about it a lot. What I want you to say, client's supposed to be satisfied always. Even though she come to your place and she had a bad mood and she want, for example, she want to put yourself more higher than you, maybe it's gonna make her feel better, you should let her do it. Normally, if client is arrogant or something like that, you should never go to that level. Your replies should be always calm and polite. Even though inside yourself you are angry and you want to say some bad words, like something like that, you need to be calm, because this is your professionalism, how you react on these things. You should remember that your business is the service you are giving out and the money you're getting from there. So since you are giving the good service, you are sure that you are getting the perfect service and your client get it and give you money back. All other things is just emotion around this topic. So you can skip these emotions and just do your work. Because sometimes people, they're different from you. Maybe they just have this style of communication or something. And maybe you're gonna kill yourself thinking like what I did for her or something like that. No, as I told you before already, you should be confident. And when you are confident, you are always calm. Because if you are confident, you will not argue with client or something like that. You should never argue, because sometimes in the memory of the client, for example, she even didn't like her work, but when you're being nice till the end, nice and friendly till the end of the process, it will go inside her head like okay, maybe I didn't like the work a lot, but if she know you're a beginner, maybe she can forgive it to you if you've been good at nice. But if you did the bad work and if you've been arrogant, 100% she will go everywhere and speak to everybody that she's been inside such an ugly place or something like that. And as I saw, people more give bad review than a good review. I don't know why. So you better control the situation and know that during all your process of working, there are no people who are speaking bad about you. For example, if your client is very, very complicated, if communication is not going on and her lashes is also complicated to work, you can increase price a little bit, like you can increase on that amount how your nerves cost, and then see if she will stuck with you. No problem, you can continue work. If not, you can say to her goodbye. I had this experience before. I had one client, she was a nice girl, we had a good communication, but after I finished with her, I always felt like a lemon, like a squeezed lemon. Maybe the energetic was not fit or something like that, but I should refuse her, like I should refuse her from the services. And I did it, and she sent me messages long time because she suggested me like some different ways how we can communicate, because when you're the good artist, people are always gonna stuck to you, even if they don't show up that you are the important. Once you're gonna start to disappear, they will appear and search for you again, and maybe they're gonna be even more respectfully. Sometimes you can be even psychologist for your client. Because sometimes people, they go for the services, they want lashes, of course, but this is not the main thing. This is just like 40 or 30% of the process. The main thing is just to share the experience, to speak, because some people, they don't have just an opportunity to stay alone, face to face with somebody for 2 hours and 2.5, especially mothers with a few children, with a few kids. They just want that time, they just need it. Sometimes people, they just want to speak, for example, they don't want to share these things with the friends or with some people who can judge them, but Lashmaker never judge, and you're not never gonna judge, so they can share with you some information. You should always listen. You can listen, you can give your advices, but remember, when your client's speaking, when her eyes trembling, the time of the procedure gonna be longer, and the eyes can be hurted, because when she moving, when she start to say something emotional, she can forget it all, that she is on the eyelash extension that moment. So you should remind her, and also if she says something which is not fits to your heart and you don't want to listen, you can say to her that, please, can you keep your eyes closed, because I see that it's open a little bit and the evaporation go inside, so you maybe have a red eyes after. So to prevent it, you better keep your eyes closed and don't speak. 100% all people gonna make it, and nobody gonna be offended, because it is not your fault. When you are working, when the client's eyes is closed already, you need to do everything very, very confident. Like you don't need to say, oh, or something like, you don't need to say something which can make client feel nervous. Even if you did something like, of course, for example, even if you put glue on the floor, or something emergency happens, you don't need to show up this. You need to make it quiet. Once happens with me, I was using the glue and the hair of a client go inside the glue, and I saw the glue on the hair. Okay, I was quiet, and I said to her, like, I just put remover there quietly and then just remove it. She didn't even notice what happens, So you should do like that, because when client laying down with the closed eyes, she can be nervous, and everything seems different when she have the closed eyes. So it's better when she thinks at least that everything is going on all right. And what I wanted to say also, when you're working, is better if nobody is around. For example, if you're working cabinet in your house and your mother or your relatives is going around, it's better ask them to or if it's possible, it's better to separate them, because if you make some other dialogues around the client, it's also make them nervous, because the client think I'm laying down here and she just do her own things. So when you start to work, all these things you just better to remove. Of course, also your phone, you don't need to message or something. If you heard that somebody is calling you and this is emergency, you cannot decline. You should say to your clients, you should apologize and say sorry, speak, then finish your call, then use the sanitizer for your hand again, because the phone is the most dirtiest thing. So you use the sanitizer again and then continue. Also the same thing when you are working and something fall down on the floor. If this is a micro brush or something like that, you don't need to care. But if something important fell down on the floor, you need to apologize also, pick it up, and then use sanitizer again. So the client gonna hear that you don't bring the things from the floor and put on her face or something like that. So she gonna think that everything is always clean and safety. So if something is not working on, for example, your glue is too slow and you see fans is not finding, something is working bad, you should stop for 1 minute, relax, breathe, and clear your mind, because sometimes when you're working 1 hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours, sometimes level of your pressure become higher and higher and higher, and you just try to do your best, but this level of pressure, they don't let you. You just need to relax and breathe a little bit. Don't say nothing to a client, just apologize, go drink water, go back, and then with the calm you can finish your work. You understand, you cannot stop your work in the middle, even though you feel that your nervous is already burning and you cannot stand there no more. You as a professional, you need to finish your work perfectly, first of all. Doesn't matter what you have on your mind that moment or what you have on your mind right now. You need to know that if you realize that you are the Lashmaker, your main question and your main task, make a perfect set, or at least you need to do your best, but never try to do like that. Never try to finish faster. If you see that you cannot finish, you should finish anyways. You need to do some things, you need to try yourself calm, but you need to finish your work. To make it easier for you, I recommend, I told it before already, but I want to say again, to finish it faster, I recommend you to work with the 2 eyes immediately and put lashes like this in a scatter way, so you will be able to finish faster, even though not all the eyelashes gonna be covered with extension. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look more better than if you just do 1 eye and then understand that you cannot do it no more. Okay, I will say you more about the conflicts, and on this I will finish this chapter. For example, if you finish your work and the client opened eyes and she said like, oh my god, I want something else. Like for example, she want a big volume and you did a less volume or something like that. You can always deal with that. You don't need to say like, oh my god, like you need always say that it was in your mind to do like that. Like you can say that maybe you did a less volume because her eyelash has been too weak and you needed to put more lighter volume. For example, if she say that it's too long, you can say that, okay, if it's too long, you cannot do nothing. But if she say that this is too short, you can recommend to her that you can remove few of them and you can put a longer one. It's gonna be like, if for example, if you see that client not really satisfied of your job, you need to do your best to make client satisfied, even though you need to spend 1 hour more, like 1 extra hour or something. You need to do it. Your main task, the client supposed to be satisfied with the set. For example, if you did the wrong effect, you did the cat eye and she was asking you for the doll eye, sometimes it happens you just did the wrong effect, you need to apologize and say to her that try for 2 days or 3 days to be like that. If you're not gonna not like this job, I will redo for you for free in a few days, but try. Because sometimes people, they just see itself instead to criticize immediately, but after 3 hours they see itself in the mirror and they understand that it's actually not bad, or maybe their mood improve and they start to see itself better. So for example, if your client open eyes and she not really satisfied, give her a few days to get used for it, and then if she don't like it at all, you should change, because this is your problem. Because you as a lashmaker, you need to ask your client before and you need to make sure about the effect before, and after you realize and you both realize which kind of effect you're gonna do, you need to say it all again to her, how it gonna looks like with the words very good. Even though she's not gonna listen to you or she's not gonna listen attentively, it's like your guarantee after you finish your work, you will be able to say that it was the thing we deal about. Also, you can take pictures. It's important thing when you are finish your work, when you're just a beginner, to take pictures from different angles, not only for you. For you it's also very important. I will mention this also in the future, but this is also important for the clients, because sometimes clients, she gonna say like, maybe she will try to complain, but you have pictures as a proof that everything from your side was done properly. And the last thing, if client don't want to pay, for example, she say, I don't like the job at all and I don't want to pay, you should recommend her 2 ways. First of the ways, you remove the eyelashes and give her money back. This is a way, this is okay, this is not really good for you, but Sometimes it happens. With me, it never happens. Maybe with you, it will never happen also. But this kind of things you better to know. That's why you're not gonna be lost in case. And maybe you will know about this situation and you can't prevent them also, because if you see that clients start to be nervous on something, sometimes it's just enough to touch and something like that, just to smile. Sometimes you don't need to argue or screaming to prove your point of view. So with your client, you need to be friendly, and you always need to remember that you are not just the people from the street, that you are the highest class professional. And your face and your actions and your behavior, this is the just how it shows up.